Okay, let's see how far I can get in this 10-minute session. Once again, no game audio because of sync issues I still haven't been able to pin down. Anyway, we're going to go after the third palace now, but first we're going to make a little detour. There's one thing we should pick up, and I'll do it over this way. That gets annoying after a while. Anyway, over this way you will see that we have a cave blocked by a boulder. And as soon as we dealt with those two, we're going to go over here and pop open that cave. Here we have a Mew, and this is how you deal with Mews. Use the downward thrust technique you just learned, and there were 3 experience points here. Louders was very handy for dealing with them. I'm not even going to deal with you. And a heart container. Just like that, we now have 6 heart containers and 6 blocks of magic. One more stop to make, and we have to go back to the swamp, where we started this whole thing. Yes, the other thing, Mews will come back. Whoa! I'm having a devilish good time. I'm so funny. Oh, boy. Alright, dealing with enemies here. By the way, those birds are called Mobies. Come over here and get myself a red magic jar. And deal with more Octoroks and enemies and everything else. On the way back to the swamp where we first entered this half of Hyrule, if you remember. Going back through here. Gorias. Oh boy. And up in here. You see, this cave is also blocked by a boulder and we couldn't get in before. We will get in now. Just like that. And in here we have flying skulls. I told you you hadn't seen the last of these guys, or this situation. Alright. And, oh, look at this. But now that you have the downward stab, Darias are a lot easier to deal with. You can just do that with them. I'm going to give myself a life spell and a shield spell. That was close. Let's get out of here. Oh, that would be stupid to fall into lava just there. This right here is the Water of Life. It does nothing in the game for right now, but you'll need it in Mido. Because that's part of this last errand we need to run. And we leave this cave. Whoops, forgot about this. Definitely going to have to go back to town here. Yeah, look at this. Yeah, look at this. I've just about had it. Fortunately, it's easy to get back to town from here because we're headed back to Mido, and we can just get there by taking the road now. Okay, first thing to do is fill up on life and magic. Both easily enough done. Here's the life lady. And the magic lady is coming up in the second half, or second portion of 3. I don't know why I'm jumping over people. They don't block you or nothing. And here's the magic lady. And this is what we're here for. This lady right here, the water of life. You see, she has a sick daughter that she would have mentioned if I'd talked to her before. And the water of life I collected in that swamp cave is what her daughter needs to get better again. Now that you've given her that, she'll let you in. And guess what? It's new spell time. This magic word will give you power. Well, not exactly. I'll tell you what it does. Is you see, the new spell is called Fairy. And it just basically turns Link into a fairy. And what I mean by that is, of course, the little things with wings, not any other connotation or use of the word fairy that you might be thinking of. Anyway, it's really only useful twice in the entire game, but in both cases, it's essential for continuing on. And continuing on, that is what we shall do. I'll just... Again... You don't want to get into any fights down in that graveyard. It's just too much trouble. I don't even know what hit me there. Now this right here, there's nothing here. This is the king's tomb. And all this is a landmark. From the king's tomb, you head due south into the graveyard, and hopefully that does not happen to you, but these flying eyes are called Moas, and not only do they hurt, they also drain experience points if you get hit by them, so that's one reason to stay away from them. Anyway, continue south until that happens, and use the stab technique. And here's where you need to use your fairy spell, because jump, you won't be able to clear that distance. You'll be able to clear half of it at best. With the fairy, you can just fly up and over and get yourself here. Unfortunately, I'm now about to die. So... And, yeah, well, I had to do that, almost. I just about had to do that. Anyway, we won't have to deal with that again. That's where the downward thrust comes in very handy for pogoing off enemies' heads like that. Anyway, we're now on this little island, and there's the third palace, right over there. But first, a little detour. Dealing with typical... desert enemies here on the island. And here you go. That's the Island Palace, and that is where we will enter it in our next video and take you through and get the raft, which will open up the door to the rest of Hyrule. Until next time, we'll see ya.